Purdue University has a rich history of producing astronauts such as Neil Armstrong and making huge advances in the field of astronomy, inspiring countless men and women to pursue their dreams in space travel and research. In fact, one student-led organization on campus has their sights set on accomplishing something no other university has done before.
I'm Mike Hepfer. I'm the program director for Purdue Orbital. We're a design build test team here on campus, and our goal is to be the first collegiate organization to put something into orbit. We started back in 2015. It started with a small group of people. A couple of them had an interest. Group of students interested in aerospace, and they had this idea that people are making these small satellites. They're cheaper, they're easy to make, they're not terribly complicated, and you can do a lot of interesting things with them. Right now, it's really hard to get to space if you want to, especially if you're a college organization. And lots of schools around the country, Purdue included, has several teams that are designing small satellites to do things in orbit, to conduct experiments, things like that. Unfortunately, it's really hard to get that satellite into orbit. There's grants and stuff you can apply for, there's channels you can use, but there isn't a whole lot of opportunities for students to take their products and missions and actually take them into the real world and apply them and actually put that satellite in space. So one of the things Purdue Orbital wants to do is to offer a service to students if, say, we can actually achieve this final goal. One of the things we've been interested in doing is saying, hey, come bring your satellite to us, let us integrate it into our system, and let us try and put that satellite in orbit for you so you can conduct a mission that you probably would have a lot more hoops to jump through to do it in another fashion. When we were trying to figure out how to solve this problem of what does it take to put a small payload in space at a relatively low cost, we looked at a lot of things, eventually settling on the Raccoon, which is a rocket launched from a balloon platform at a high altitude somewhere between 15 and 20 kilometers.
A Raccoon is a balloon rocket configuration. So the balloon is a really important aspect of the project. It's what lifts our structure up to the altitude that we want to launch at.
The advantage of this is when you launch at altitude, there's a savings of energy, and that savings of energy allows you to get to space, get to orbit with less rocket fuel, kind of simplifies the rocket a bit and makes it something more manageable for a group of students to do. So what ended up happening was this group of people put this team together and they said, hey, why don't we go after this idea? Why don't we look at and see if we can't pursue, and maybe enter into that area?
We are designing the balloon, the recovery systems, the attachment mechanisms, and the cut-down methods. Basically, we are what brings the rocket up and brings it back down safely.
Right now, our team is about 95 people. We have several sub-teams from high-altitude balloon research to rockets to, people who just buy things off the shelf and put smaller rockets together for tests.
So everyone on our team gets a lot of design, build, test experience. We begin with a brainstorming phase, design phase, and then once we actually build our system, we do test it once a semester. So for this semester, we did a cut-down test and a balloon test. We were testing our quick deflation method using a hot wire, a nichrome wire mechanism. And then for our balloon test, we were using a polyethylene balloon and did an actual high altitude balloon test to get some data. One of the teams on Purdue Orbital is developing a balloon model to look at the flight path of our balloon. And so what we wanted to show in our balloon test is to look at the data points of how it drifts as it ascends and descends.
I think that the design skills that we're gaining here at Purdue Orbital are invaluable. I'm getting so much experience both leading a team and designing these highly complex systems that'll really help me out when I'm going out to look for a job in the future. Getting that relative design build test experience, making evidence-based decisions, as well as solving real-world problems, to me is one of the most valuable skills you can have coming out of college, going to look for a job.
The timeline for our project is pretty long. A lot of the students here right now will never see the end goal launched while they're in school because an orbital rocket is not easy to design or build. So the students a part of Purdue Orbital will take what they learn in the classroom and they bring it here where they can apply it hands-on to a real-world scenario where they're trying to solve a complex engineering goal. Some of the more complex systems, we've got one of our teams is working on an experimental rocket which would be the design for the final Raccoon system, and the goal of that is to design a rocket that when put on our high-altitude balloon system would be able to achieve orbit with a small payload.
So all a rocket really is just a controlled explosion, right? So think about how if you have an explosion, it's going to go in all kinds of different directions. But what these do is that they just shoot it out, in one direction, and that propels the whole rocket upwards. I have the first rocket we launched as an organization, and this bad boy reached 16,000 feet and was able to reach the speed of sound within 1.5 seconds. Now the final rocket, which is what we're working on, has to be much larger. It has to reach a speed of 5 miles every second, as well as an altitude of 200 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. And when you're designing these different systems, there's a lot of parameters that you have to take into account. How large will it be? How much fuel will it carry? Where do we point it? How do we control it? And all these parameters start to inform our design. It forms a really, really neat project because of it.
One of the big components of this organization's success is the students. The students that we find here at Purdue, there's a burning passion for aerospace. We have a great group of students from all disciplines. We've got people involved from Cranert, we've got the engineering school, the tech school, we've got a number of aerospace students due to the nature of the project. So our students take what they learn in the classroom and they bring it and apply it hands-on on our project. The things they learn in their aerospace classes they can apply directly to the rocket stuff we're doing. The things, we've got students who have been creating balloon models using software they learned using class. Some of the things they learn in class isn't enough, there isn't enough detail, they don't get enough experience in the area to really be able to solve the problem. So we often go back to professors instead of times outside of the classroom to meet, to get more in depth with material and learn some more things so that we can better work towards solving our goal.
Being at Purdue, you're surrounded by people with the same passion and motivation to work on something that's never been done before. Purdue fosters an environment that allows the students to work on projects that have never been done before.
Purdue University has been fantastic to Purdue Orbital. The Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics in particular has been helping us a lot with storage space and trying to help us get funding in different ways. There's a really, really great culture here at Purdue for fostering innovation and kind of trying to help these clubs start, because really it's not just us. There are tons of clubs here that do fantastic work and we're really proud to be part of it.
Students who work on Purdue Orbital get the opportunity to make an innovative design that's never been done before, which is incredibly useful in the aerospace field nowadays, where you see companies like SpaceX doing things that's never been done before. And that experience from Purdue is what will make them successful in the future.
So attaining orbit would probably be the highlight of my time here. It's meant so much to me, and it's really helped me foster both professional and technical skills, and so I couldn't think of anything better happening to me here at the university.
People on our team, they don't come to our team because they just want some extracurricular to participate in. The students that come to Purdue Orbital are here because they have a passion for space. They came to Purdue looking to pursue any major, and then some of them even join the team and decide to go aerospace engineering because they found something in themselves that they really appreciated, something about space, something about aerospace, something about doing something unique that you can't really do anywhere else.
Purdue Orbital is setting out to do something no other student-led group has ever been able to do. With Purdue's resources and support, these aspirations will one day become a reality, and these young men and women will pave the way for new advances in research and exploration.